Hey everyone, welcome back to the Beyond podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Flora. This is going to be a quick 5 minutes with Flora episode, and it actually relates to the last solo episode where we talked about burnout and the importance of micro breaks. Burnout is such a hot topic, and it really is a buzzword. We hear it all the time nowadays, but do you actually know what burnout is? Do you know what symptoms to look out for? Well, I'm going to tell you in 5 minutes with Flora. Let's do this. Hi, everyone. You are listening to Beyond, and I'm your host, Dr. Flora. Listen, life is hard. You don't have to do it alone. As a mindset coach, physician, mom, and an infertility warrior, I have mastered techniques to help move you towards contentment and growth. I can't wait to go along with this crazy ass life journey with you while making sure you feel like your best self. This podcast is meant to have you feel unstuck from your rut and less alone. Let's do this. Okay, I want you to think about this. Do any of these scenarios sound familiar? You get an email at work and it says that they are going to be throwing an all-hands event outside of work hours to celebrate all of the company's achievements. The event is a picnic potluck, and instead of excited, you're feeling a little bit indifferent, apathetic. You acknowledge that it was a very nice gesture, but you're like, ugh, I gotta bring something to a picnic with the people that I work with that I see all week. What about this scenario? You're coming home from a crazy day at work just to start your second shift with the housework and kids. You start to make dinner. Your husband jumps in, who is trying to help cook dinner. And then he asks, why is there no salt in the house? And you suddenly realize you forgot to pick it up at the store. It was on your grocery list. Why didn't you get it? Well, you get upset at yourself, and then you snap at him. And then you snap at the kids. And then you just feel overwhelmed with irritation and then guilt. All right, last scenario, I promise. You're at work and suddenly you remember, oh, I have to get salt from the grocery store. Let me put it on the grocery list. So you leave work just a little bit early, stop by the grocery store. While you are shopping, you are also answering work emails because you want to tie things up. You get home, you are making dinner with the salt that you bought at the grocery store while you are trying to get the kids through homework and bedtime routines. After the kids go to bed, you finally take a breath and say to yourself, wow, finally, time for myself. You know what? I think I'm going to catch up on this show that everyone keeps talking about. You kick your feet up and you're on the couch, start the show, and then you're like, well, I'm just sitting here. I might as well get some work done. So next thing you know, you're watching a show with the laptop in hand while working. Do any of these or a version of this sound familiar? You're constantly pushing through, constantly multitasking. You are hustling from one weekend to another, from one vacation to another, until you hit a wall. This is burnout. So let's go over the definition. According to the World Health Organization, burnout is a syndrome conceptualized as resulting from chronic workplace stress that has not been successfully managed. It is characterized by 3 dimensions: feelings of energy depletion and exhaustion, increased mental distance from one job or feelings of negativity and cynicism, and reduced professional efficacy. And trust me, you can feel this outside of work too. Yes, this WHO definition relates to a occupational hazard, but you can also feel energy depletion, exhaustion, increased mental distance, feelings of negativity or cynicism, and decreased productivity relating to tasks outside of work, relating to family obligations. So how do you know if you are on your way to burnout? It's not just a switch that flips on. There are 5 stages. And these stages occur gradually, not always in a stepwise approach. So I want you to listen very, very carefully. And I want you to self-reflect to see if any of these stages apply to you so you can take action. So stage number 1, the honeymoon stage. You are beginning a new job or tasked with a new role. There is a new schedule. You are approaching this with high energy, enthusiasm. Your excitement, your commitment, your drive leads you to taking on a lot of responsibilities and potentially overworking, but you're happy about it because this is new. This is exciting. Stage 2 is stress onset. So the honeymoon stage dwindles and then that intermittent overwhelm settles in. The task on hand is still rewarding and the stress is actually a good motivator and it moves you to act. However, if you are utilizing maladaptive coping strategies to manage this intermittent overwhelm, you will notice that you are beginning to neglect your own needs. And then this stage gives way to stage 3, which is chronic stress. So this is when stress becomes more of an everyday thing. Your nervous system is constantly on high alert. You may even notice that small things trigger you and you have no idea why. You have feelings of anger. You may have some episodes of tiredness. And again, this sounds familiar, right? These are signs and symptoms of burnout. So stage 3 is actually when burnout signs and symptoms can present. Apathy, resentfulness, cynicism, powerlessness, withdrawal, social isolation. And this is also maybe when friends and family start noticing just a subtle change. Denial of these changes leads you down to stage 4, which is burnout. This is when the nervous system has been operating out of sheer survival mode. And it becomes more difficult to cope with the demands of life. You are overwhelmed by exhaustion, physically, mentally, emotionally, and all of these burnout symptoms intensify. Cynicism, pessimism, self-doubt, physical symptoms even like insomnia, heart palpitations, anxiety, gastrointestinal upset. And then there's stage 5, chronic burnout. This is when stage 4 becomes embedded into your life. You can't tell what the difference is. You don't remember what life was like or how you felt in stage 1, 2, or 3. This is you. This is embedded. This is part of every day. And listen, burnout isn't just about working long hours. It's about true energy depletion. So, friends, if you are at any of these stages, or if you just need help in prevention in burnout, contact me. That's what I'm here for. I am a coach to prevent burnout for working women like you who are high achieving badasses. So just DM me on Instagram. Let's get on a free call together to identify your pain points. And I also, during this free call, can teach you my YET method. And look, if we're a match, we will chat further on how to work together. And if not, that's all right. At least you'll be walking away with a helpful tool. Thanks for tuning in to this 5 Minutes with Flora episode. And as always, remember, mindset is medicine. Keep showing up for yourself, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Thank you so much for joining and spending your precious time here with me. As someone who prioritizes her energy, I am so grateful that you chose to spend yours here. To help me help you, please take an extra 30 seconds of your time to rate and review the podcast on your listening platform. For more tips and a behind-the-scenes look into my life, follow me on Instagram at Dr. Flora Sinha. That's Dr. Flora Sinha. Finally, connecting with you truly fills my cup. So DM me on Instagram, email me at florasinhamd@gmail.com, repost if you love this episode. I love hearing from you. I am so grateful for you and cannot wait to be back for the next episode. Bye.